All right, now to more coverage of the Cuba in crisis. The city of Hialeah is preparing to host a free rally next week. It's going to happen at Mylender Park. The event comes as Cuba faces deep turmoil with severe economic hardship and widespread shortages across the island. In Hialeah, where roughly 7 in 10 residents are of Cuban descent. Developments in Cuba are deeply personal for many families. Mayor Bryan Calvo has announced a task force targeting businesses that may be illegally sending goods to Cuba. Now, Mayor Calvo actually joins us live this morning, and there's a lot to talk about here.
There is.
And let's start with the latest development out of Cuba, because we're hearing, based on our partners from the Miami Herald, that the government in Cuba is essentially going to open up allowing private businesses to open up in Cuba for members, Cuban individuals who are no longer on the island, to invest in private businesses there. So can you just kind of give us your reaction to that? What do you think that does to the dynamic here between the U.S. and Cuba?
Any change is welcome change, but at the end of the day, it's a slap in the face. Why? Because we understand that everything runs through the dictatorship, and any money that goes into that country is going to end up in the pockets of the Castro family or those surrounding them. And that's why in the city of Hialeah, we created that task force targeting businesses that are laundering money for the dictatorship in our city. We've identified initially over 200 businesses that are the scope of our investigation, and we're aiming to crack these businesses down and shut them down if indeed they are doing so. So to be able to see an opening of what they call quote unquote private businesses, I think, again, it's a slap in the face because we all know where that money is going to end up.
Right. From what I always hear, and especially with experts who are very familiar with the ongoings there in Cuba, it's very difficult to separate private businesses from the government there in Cuba. All right, let's talk about the rally that you guys announced on Friday. It's happening next week, March 21st, Mylender Park. Talk to us about what that rally is going to be about and why you're doing it.
So I represent the constituency of the largest Cuban and Cuban American population in the United States. So for me, it was extremely personal to be able to do something where we can have our voices heard as a Cuban community across the United States. So that's why we're putting together this rally. It's going to be on Tuesday, March 24th, starting at 7 p.m. We're going to have a beautiful night, almost like a vigil, many speakers, some musical performances, candlelight at the end. It's going to be a very special moment, again, for our community to come together and say in one voice to the U.S. government, to the Cuban dictatorship, we need change, complete change of governance in the island of Cuba. It's been 67 years, and we're not going to allow another year to be added to that number.
Can you talk to us about who maybe some of the speakers are going to be, or maybe some of the performers?
So we have a mix of elected officials, we have community leaders, activists, people of the Cuban exile community that are very important, and then we also have some performers with hit songs that have really kind of spread that message of change, of love, of change for the island of Cuba. So I don't want to reveal too much yet, but it is going to be, again, a very special night. Yeah. We've gotten over 300,000 hits just on our flyer in the first 24 hours, so we expect a very, very big crowd.
Let's talk about the timing of this rally, because what we're hearing is there's going to be change at some point given the crisis that Cuba is under, and no lifeline in the foreseeable future coming in to swoop in and help the island out. What we're also hearing is that there's talks happening between the U.S. and Cuba, and that could lead to an economic deal. That also falls in line with what we're hearing, that the Cuban government may be announcing, allowing Cubans to open up private businesses there in the island. Again, economic focused.
Right.
What is your reaction to that if that is what ends up happening? More of an economic change versus political change and regime change? Yeah,
it's funny when we use the word economic, because economic stems from the political. You can't have true economic change without a change in the political governance until you have a democracy in that island. That is exactly what the Cuban community wants here in the exile. We want a change in the governance. That is first, that is primordial. Everything else is secondary to that. And until we don't get that political change, nothing is really going to change on that island.
Okay. Well, Mayor Calvo, we thank you so much for joining us this morning. And just a reminder to our viewers, that event is happening on March 24th. It's happening at Mylender Park starting at 7 o'clock. Thank you so much.
Thank you.